Hey everybody, AI Jedi here. Today we're going to do something really cool. We're going to build AI glasses. So this is part one. There'll be a section, part two to the video as well. Well, part one, I'm going to show you how to set everything up and how to get it working. And then in part two, we'll show you how to connect the camera. Okay, so a long time ago, 27 years ago, actually 29 years ago now, when I graduated from the University of San Francisco, I applied at Apple. And during that process, I pitched them on an idea for what later Google would call Google Glasses. But back then, they were Apple glasses. And I called it Alexandria after the great library of Alexandria in Egypt from ancient times. All right, so this, by the way, was 12 years before the iPhone was invented, 9 years before Facebook was founded. So this was a little bit ahead of its time. And basically, you can see from the picture here, the glasses would be able to identify objects, would be able to listen to music and tell you, identify the song and the composer. So basically, I was taking off-the-shelf technology back then and trying to cobble it together. But today, it's very easy to build AI glasses. So I'm going to show you how to do that. First thing you're going to need a pinhole camera. A pinhole camera that allows you to stream and you can get the IP address from. So we're going to take normal sunglasses here. We're going to connect, just solder a pinhole camera on here. It's not the most beautiful looking thing, but for our purposes, you'll see. And then I'm going to show you code where you can have a few voice commands where we'll say to the computer, we will say, what is? The moment we say what is, whatever we're looking at, it'll take a frame from the streaming video from the camera, send it off to OpenAI for analysis, and it'll come back with the answer. But the answer will be read back to us out loud. I don't want to have to read anything on a screen or anything like that. We'll do the same for who is. So if I say who is, then the logic in the code will not send off to OpenAI. Instead, it will revert to facial recognition code that I've already written and shared, by the way, in a different video, and to try to identify the person that I'm looking at. I'm also going to try to add a function for listen, a command. When I say listen, I want it to record 5 to 10 seconds of whatever I'm hearing, and then analyze that and tell me what it is. And I'm going to use OpenAI for that as well. So the first thing, let's just do the basic code first. And here's what you're going to need to do. I'll share all this, of course, in the comments below. So again, we're going to pip install OpenAI, that command here. We're going to pip install Python .env to load our environmental variables, which is basically the OpenAI API key. There's a whole video on that as well. A couple more installs. This install here will help us with reading OpenAI's response, text response. It'll read it out loud to us so we can hear it. Here are the imports you'll need to make sure that you have set up at the beginning. Here is the setup for the camera access to the stream. Now today I'm just going to use a handheld device because they haven't received the pinhole camera yet. So that'll be in part two where I show you that. But basically it's the same concept. Here we're just going to use an Android device and stream from it as if it were, just use the camera from it as if it were attached to the glasses. And it will follow the same commands. All right, so here we formulate the URL based on the information above. Here is the function to start the webcam. Basically, in this case, it's not a webcam. We're going to actually video capture right here, cv2.video capture, and it's going to insert the IP camera URL that we constructed above. This is in all my videos too, so I apologize if I'm going too fast here on that. Okay, here is the capture frame section. So you obviously need all of this code. Down here is where we encode the image. This is super important. This is where we use the base 64. Here is the function to capture and process the image. All right, now here's where it gets interesting. Here's the function to process the captured image and send it to OpenAI. Now, currently, I'm only operating off of the command what is. I'll add more logic in part 2 to answer who is and listen, those voice commands. I want 3 voice commands. What is? And that'll send a special prompt to OpenAI. If I say who is, it won't go to OpenAI. It will just run internally in here with facial recognition code that I've built. And if I say listen, then it will record what from the microphone what it's hearing for 5 or 10 seconds, then send that audio clip off to OpenAI for analysis, and then the answer, when the answers come back from OpenAI, they are then read out loud Okay, before it gets to that, here is the function for recognizing what I'm saying or what you're saying. And I've programmed it right now. If it hears me say, what is, then it will go out to Chat-GPT and say, you are very observant. You are adept at identifying things. So it kind of narrows Chat-GPT's focus, which is important. And then we say, here is an image. What is it? The response, when it comes back, is normally text. And it'll actually show on the screen. But I want it read out loud. So, what's here? That's exactly what is going to happen. I'm just looking really quick. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Function to read aloud the response. So let me just show you how it works. Okay. Now keep in mind two things. One, you can walk around anywhere you want when you're on your local network like this. You could build it, obviously, so it doesn't have to be on the local network. But I can walk anywhere in this building, and I can use the camera. Of course, I'm going to attach a pinhole camera here instead, so I don't have to hold this big thing. But when it'll still be effective. I'll still be able to look at something and then say, what is, who is, or listen, and get a response. So here, I just want you to see how it works. So we're already streaming from here. All right, so let's hit play. All right, so I'm just gonna show it a phone and maybe a cup or something. All right, so it takes a second for the initial video stream to connect. I got it on, I think. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So it's streaming. And just imagine it was attached to the glasses, right? We'll have the pinhole camera soon. So now I put it over any item. I'm putting it over my phone right now. And then say, what is?
The image shows a person holding a red Apple iPhone. The phone has a clear case on it, and the Apple logo is visible on the back.
So there you have it. the camera was able to stream over objects, you can just say what is. That's a special command that we programmed here. In the second video, we'll show commands for who is, in addition to what is, and listen. So it can tell if it listens to music or listens to somebody speaking a foreign language, it can interpret that via the OpenAI API and then give us a response and then read it back to us aloud. So in the next video, we'll connect the pinhole camera to the glasses, and then we'll get up and we'll walk around the building, and we won't have to be tethered to the computer here. We'll be able to walk around and do that. You might be wondering how we're going to walk around and be able to speak to the computer. So I'm just going to actually wear a headset like this, have the camera soldered onto the, or just connected to my sunglasses, and then I'll be able to walk around anywhere in my office and communicate and hear the response from OpenAI. So I hope you enjoyed that, and stay tuned for part 2. Thanks. Bye.